The theater buzzes with chatter, glittering lights reflecting on polished floors. Judges lean back, sipping water, eyes tired from endless polished performers. Then, silence. A boy walks onto the stage. 17. Thin frame. His shirt faded, collar frayed. Shoes scuffed, soles barely holding. He clutches a guitar, borrowed, not owned. His steps are hesitant, yet his eyes shimmer with something deeper than fear, memory, grief, hope. The host forces a smile, calling out half-heartedly, "Next contestant." Daniel. Some in the crowd smirk. Others whisper, "He looks too nervous." Daniel lowers his gaze, fingers trembling against the strings. Then, he strums. A fragile sound, like glass cracking. At first, uneven. Then stronger. The first notes of Hotel California echo through the hall. And when his voice joins, the room stills. Not smooth, not trained, but raw, broken, soaked in longing. The kind of sound that crawls into hearts without permission. Tears slip down his cheeks, catching in the spotlight. His body sways slightly as if each word costs him breath, as if the song is carved out of his soul. Mothers in the audience press tissues to their eyes. Fathers cross arms, trying to hide emotion. Even the judges exchange startled glances. But in the front row, a man stiffens. His eyes widen. That voice, he's heard it before. His heartbeat quickens, guilt rising like a tide. Because this is no ordinary song. For Daniel, this is confession. For that man, it's judgment. And the night has only just begun. Daniel's life wasn't built on stages or applause. It was built on sidewalks, long nights, and the quiet hum of sacrifice. His mother worked endlessly, scrubbing hotel floors by day, washing dishes by night. Yet even in her exhaustion, she smiled. When Daniel was small, she'd tuck him in and hum a tune. Hotel California. "It makes me feel free," she whispered, folding his blanket with calloused hands. "One day, Daniel, your voice will carry us higher than I ever could." But sickness doesn't wait for dreams. The cough came first. Then the hospital visits. Then the silence. Daniel left school early, trading books for shifts, caring for her with tenderness far too heavy for a boy his age. At night, while she slept, he'd cradle his old guitar, their only luxury. Strings rusted, body chipped. Yet when he played her song, her eyes would soften. "It feels like home," she'd murmur, even though their real home was a cramped rented room with peeling paint. When her final day came, Daniel discovered an envelope beneath her pillow. Inside, 20 crumpled dollars and a note in faded ink. "Sing, Daniel. Even if the world doesn't listen." Tonight, under blinding stage lights, every strum carries her voice. He doesn't stand here for fame. He doesn't stand here for applause. He sings for her. For the love that scrubbed floors to keep him alive. And in the audience, Mr. Hartwell swallows hard. Because he remembers her tea. Each chord pulls Daniel deeper into memory. He remembers nights when hunger gnawed louder than music, when neighbors laughed at the poor boy chasing impossible dreams. He remembers the sting of being invisible, until now. The judges lean in. One nods with admiration, another scribbles doubtfully. But in the front row, Mr. Hartwell grips the edge of his seat. Every lyric feels like it's aimed directly at him. Years ago, Hartwell was the hotel manager. A sharp suit, quick decisions, little patience. He remembers her, Daniel's mother, standing at his desk, pleading for work. He turned her away. "We're full," he said coldly, without looking up. She walked out, clutching her son's hand, dignity shattered. Now, that same boy stands here, pouring his soul into the very song she once hummed while cleaning his lobby floors. Hartwell's throat tightens. His vision blurs. The crowd rises into a standing ovation as Daniel's final note hangs like smoke in the air. Applause crashes like waves. People weep openly. But Daniel's eyes lower. The ovation feels distant, hollow. What good is applause when the one person he wanted to hear him is gone? He bows awkwardly, tears falling faster now. The curtain begins to close, but destiny isn't finished. Because someone in this audience carries a secret. A secret wrapped in guilt, redemption, and something Daniel never expected to receive. Tonight isn't about winning. It's about truth colliding with the past. Backstage, Daniel wipes his face with the sleeve of his shirt. A stagehand pats his back. "Kid, you just shook the whole place." Daniel forces a weak smile, whispering, "She didn't hear it, so none of this matters." Footsteps echo. Slow. Heavy. Mr. Hartwell emerges from the shadows, his expression torn between courage and shame. "Daniel," he begins, voice trembling, "do you remember me?" Daniel turns sharply. The memory strikes like lightning, the hotel lobby, his mother's desperate tone, the man behind the desk who dismissed her. "Yes," Daniel replies coldly. "You closed the door on us." Hartwell's face collapses. "I did. And I have lived with that regret every day since." He reaches inside his coat and pulls out a worn leather folder. His hands shake as he opens it, revealing a yellowed photograph. Daniel freezes. It's his mother, smiling, younger, holding him as a baby. On the back, her handwriting, "For my Daniel, never stop singing." His breath catches. The very photo she thought was lost. He drops to his knees, clutching it, sobbing uncontrollably. For the first time since her passing, he feels her presence, not as a memory, but alive in his hands. Hartwell kneels beside him, tears spilling. "I cannot undo the past, but let me honor her through you." Daniel lifts the photo to his chest. In that moment, grief and forgiveness swirl together. The boy who lost everything, is about to gain something he never imagined. The next morning, headlines explode, "Homeless boy's heartfelt Hotel California moves thousands." Clips of Daniel's performance flood screens worldwide, his cracked voice echoing across living rooms and phone screens. Strangers cry watching him, strangers who've never known his name. But the real story doesn't play out in headlines. It happens quietly, in a small press hall. Cameras flash as Mr. Hartwell steps up beside Daniel. His suit is sharp, but his voice trembles. "Years ago," he begins, "I failed a woman and her son. I denied them when they needed me most. Today, I choose differently." From this day forward, Daniel has a home, a scholarship, and every resource he needs to continue his mother's dream. Gasps ripple. Reporters scribble frantically. Daniel turns to him, unsure whether to trust or retreat. But Hartwell's eyes, once cold, now carry humility. Later that evening, Daniel walks to a quiet cemetery. Kneeling at his mother's grave, he places the returned photograph against the stone. His voice breaks. "Mama. I sang for you." And the world listened. Behind him, Hartwell removes his hat, bowing his head in silence. No spotlight, no applause. Just two souls, one seeking forgiveness, the other learning to forgive. Daniel strums his guitar softly. Passers-by pause, drawn by the fragile sound. The song, once his alone, now belongs to anyone who's ever lost, loved, or longed for one more chance. But destiny has one last twist waiting, hidden in a letter sealed with truth. Months later, the hall is packed again, but this time, it isn't for a contest. It's for graduation. Caps and gowns sway. Families cheer. Pride fills the air. Daniel, taller now, dressed in his gown, walks across the stage to claim his diploma. The crowd rises, applause thunderous. But the loudest clap, steady and strong, comes from Mr. Hartwell, smiling like a father reborn. Daniel steps to the podium, voice trembling. I once believed music was just notes. But I've learned its sacrifice, its love carried through generations. My mother gave me her voice. And a stranger, once my enemy, helped me carry it forward. The crowd erupts, tears shining. As Daniel descends the stage, an usher hands him an envelope. Confused, he opens it. Inside, a letter written in careful script. I've been searching for you, Daniel. I never knew you existed. I am your father. Tonight, I finally heard your song. Daniel's hands shake. The auditorium gasps. He looks toward the back, where a man, older, unfamiliar, stands with tears streaming, nodding gently. Hartwell steps aside, eyes wide, realizing this isn't the end of his role, but the beginning of a bigger family than he imagined. Daniel clutches both the letter and diploma, overcome. He thought he stood alone in the world. Yet tonight, he stands with a legacy, a mother's sacrifice, a stranger's redemption, and a father's return. The boy who sang from pain now sings from love. And